Oh no, it hit the water. But let's go. And I got it out. It hits the water and it comes back out. What's going on? Welcome back to Find Me in Seattle. I'm your host, Cayson, and this is a special episode because I needed to document about how I crashed my drone into the lake. Let's get into the story. I was in Sandpoint, Idaho, North Idaho. For any of you followers, you've seen me do some content up there before, and I was visiting my family. So I always bring the drone because it's just such a picturesque place. So much water and nature, very small town, always getting beautiful shots while I'm there. And so I was there on a Friday. We went kayaking that day, and I got some absolutely incredible shots where the kayak starts down the Kootenai River. We're like in this beautiful valley, and there was just a little bit of cloud cover, a little bit of wind, but just absolutely phenomenal day, especially with taking out the drone. The following day, we're going out on the boat, and it's evening time, right around sunset. I knew I was going to bring the drone because I just knew it was going to be incredible looking, and it totally was. If you see here in the footage, just very few boats on the lake, especially this was 4th of July weekend. You'd expect it to be so much more crowded, but that's North Idaho for you. And we pulled over in this little cove to eat dinner, and I launched the drone, and the drone flying absolutely smoothly while I'm watching the pilot cam. I can see these two boats going across, absolutely just perfect shot, and I'm just like, wow, like I'm really getting something special right now, something that's going to look really good. And then I get this notification on the panel that says that one of the propellers is spinning at an uneven rate and it's not consistent with other propellers. And you know what? I just brushed that aside completely. I wasn't going to worry about it, and it kept giving me the notification that one of the propellers was off. And so I was concerned about it, but I was like, I'm only going to fly it for a few more minutes. I just want to get a quick shot of us on the boat. And at that point, that's when I realized that the drone was acting very fishy. It was dropping down, it was jumping all over the place, and there wasn't a lot of wind. It was just acting so inconsistent than what I'm used to. And so at this point, I'm like, all right, I got to get at least close to me in case something happens. And I'm bringing it back. At this point, I'm on the other side of the bay, and I'm bringing it back, and it's jumping all around. And at one point I brought it down lower so I could zoom right at us, and I realized that the sensor at the bottom isn't doing very good. And after having this experience, I've learned that many of you learned that the sensor at the bottom, which is supposed to prevent the drone from hitting the ground, doesn't do very well when it's over water because of the reflection. It can't really figure out where the ground is. And so I learned that lesson a few minutes earlier, and it didn't bounce right back up. So I was like, all right, don't get so close to the water. So I'm flying the drone back, and it's being real wobbly, really inconsistent, kind of dropping really heavily, and didn't seem to be listening to my remote control commands. And I'm flying it back, and I can just slowly see the autopilot coming down. And I thought for sure it was going to, and it was going to get to me, right? And then I thought the balance was going to bounce it back up. Here, this is the footage you can see, right? I'm bringing it down. It's coming back down towards us here, moving real inconsistent, right? It's choppy. I'm trying to get it on us. And this is where I try to bring it over to get it on the land. I was like, try to get it on the tree, but don't land it in the trees, get it on the ground. At that point I figured out, I could get a little bit more time. Let me get this sunset one more time, right? I got one more shot going up, pulling it towards us now. And this is where it really just like gets out of control, right? You can see this is not a very natural movement. It's going back and forth. It's going all over the place. And this is where it's coming down. And I knew it was coming down at not a rate I really liked. It seemed like it was coming down too fast, and it wasn't really controlling. And this is where it dips. And oh no, it hit the water. But let's go. And I got it out. It hits the water and it comes back out. And I get it like 3 feet to come towards me. And then it's back in the water again. But the fact that I got it, it responded in the water, kept spinning the propellers, gets out of the water, and then it just died again and crashes in. But thankfully, I crashed it in the shallow end of the water. So my brother actually jumped in, walked over. It was only like in like 2 feet of water at this point, and he was able to pull it out. And obviously it was soaked, didn't turn on. What I did immediately is I took out the SD card. What I didn't do, and I realized I messed up, is I didn't take out the battery. And so drenched it in the water. I took off all the propellers, ordered some new propellers, but thankfully I got the Fly More combo, and right now I'm waiting to get the Mavic Mini back, so I'm a little droneless here for a little while. But it was just a silly mistake that I had to share, and the video is pretty funny when you can see it from the drone perspective, and you see it land in the water and then pick itself back up and then try to get in a couple feet. And at that point I'm like struggling, right? I'm like freaking out because I see it hit the water and immediately it's like, all right, it's done. And the fact that it came out and it like tried to get to me again, you know, it gets a little extra credit for some extra effort, but just silly. Be very careful when you're flying your drone over water, because the big lessons that I learned is it's not going to automatically bounce back. And if you get one of those propeller warnings, then you should probably listen. That's my story about crashing the drone in the lake. And yeah, for flying it over water, be careful. That's my tip.